Hey, oh my goodness, what's going on? It's hump day. Sorry, I got turned. Shout out to the sun. You already know I have natural lightning. You know, let me back up my seat a little bit. There we go. Oh, so everybody doing okay? Well, we got a felon in the White House. Like, I've been convicted. I've been charged with a felony, but not convicted. I mean, he makes me feel so normal, you know? Just saying. Shout out to all the white people on my page. You know, my page is mostly white people, right? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no black people coming in here talking about black this, black that. Shout out to the white people. And mind you, I have white people on my page. Like, white people that don't really be around black people, like in a small town. So, you know, thank you, white people. I appreciate it. I love you. Especially the one with the blue eyes. Sorry. I'm sorry. Hey. You know, I'm glad the inauguration and all of that is over. Everybody can get that space back in their head. That was caught up in that, you know. I'm sorry. Shout out to Saint Germain. Yeah. You know, I seen Elon. I'm sorry. Throw up this sign. Hey, I just want to do another shout out to Hitler. Oh yeah. You know, the secret books that I go live over in the Christian series, especially the secret book of John. Guess who loved to do research on those type of books and loved those books? Hitler and his whole camp. And they loved the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Let me tell it, they went to find Thoth's spaceship that he talked about in the Emerald Tablets. Just saying. I seen the Dave Chappelle thing with SNL. He did the first SNL bit of the year. And it was funny that he was talking about Puff Daddy like he ain't best friends with Jay-Z and his friend not in the same situation. But I thought it was funny, right? I did. I thought it was funny. I heard Fauci got pardoned. Ain't that a bitch? It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. We got him. Go get that motherfucker. Sorry. So I said that the new goal was 2025. I mean, I told you the goal was 2025. Well, we got a new goal for 2030. So I'm gonna mark my words right now. Please, pretty please, be ready for. People going to say it's the most historic time in human history. Don't get caught up in that. You don't even know all of human history. Ain't nothing new under the sun. It's going to be exciting 4 years. Okay? Okay? I heard that it was peace talks going on with, Israel and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Ceasefire. Yeah. Where's the ceasefire for Ukraine? You know, because, I mean, you know, Putin just wanted to be part of NATO, right? And Clinton told him, oh, no, that ain't going to happen. He said, okay, so if y'all won't let us be a part of NATO, then make sure those border countries don't join NATO either. Clinton said, hey, that we can do. Obama comes into office, excuse my facial expressions. And all of a sudden, while he's in office, all these border nations of Russia join NATO. Putin chilled. Biden came in and said, I think it'd be a good idea for Ukraine to join NATO. I'm sorry, hold up. So Putin goes to Obama. Hey, bro, what's up? I want to join NATO. Obama's like, that's just not going to happen. He's like, bet. Clinton told me the same thing. But Clinton lied and look at this shit that's going on. Please make sure Ukraine doesn't join NATO. Can you do that for me since y'all lied at first? Obama said, I apologize on behalf of the United States of America. That we can do. We will make sure that Ukraine doesn't join NATO. Biden comes in. I think it'd be a good idea that Ukraine joins NATO. Russia's like, you know what? We about to show these motherfuckers. And now you have the Ukraine war. Just wanted to fill you in on the backdrops of what's going on, because what I just said is CIA shit. Speaking of CIA, I'm about to say this, and then we're gonna get into it. Just hold on. Jeez. Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say now. I hate when that happens. Oh, I remember now. Shout out to the contractor that I work for as an independent contractor. Even though I get fired and rehired every fucking 6 months. It's the funniest thing. Because my background. I've driven almost 500,000 miles. I'm over 18,000 clients. It's a lot of conversations. So I have these kind of conversations with regular people, strangers, people from other countries, all of that shit. So I'm proud to qualify to be a professional CIA getaway driver. I'm just saying the CIA tracking everything that you do. So the people that are good at really good things, you get a phone call like, hey man, I see you real good. You want to work for us? I don't know if I want to be a getaway driver for the CIA though. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into it. So you see, happy 70th anniversary. Shout out to my gal. We're going on 70 months this month. That'll be on the 26th, which is in 4 days. I'm so happy that I remembered and shit, because we usually forget. So it's not that we're in a bad place or anything like that. We fucking forget. But I think it's good to celebrate anniversaries every month, because life is short. And sometimes when you're celebrating it every year, you get away from the fact that you appreciate your loved one every month. So shout out to her. Shout out to 7-0. That's been a long time. We met on Facebook. So I do believe that you can find love on Facebook. I do believe that you need to physically be with somebody, but that's because me and her already went through the whole being with other people on Facebook that's in other countries or that we probably have never seen. Me and her have had that experience already. And it's great. When you meet somebody on Facebook, the only thing is that you haven't known them your whole life, especially if they're strangers. So the good part is you get to, learn their whole life. The bad part is you got to learn all the bad parts about their life and vice versa. But I think it's the greatest thing ever. So shout out to her. Speaking of 7, I'm on my 7th Masonic ring this year. So I'm finished. Shout out to the 7th heaven. I'm not finished, but shout out to the 7th heaven. I finished my first, getting to the 7th. And again, these are not my goals. These are their goals. I already told them I'm good, but, I appreciate them so much. And yes, that's the Masons, Illuminati, Knights Templar, Brotherhood Attack, the Scene Brotherhood, all that shit. I'm with all that shit. Okay. Sorry, I got excited. So thank y'all so much. It's been over 20 years that I've been studying this and been in masonry and all of that. And I'm just so thankful. I really am. Really thankful. Really humbled to have these type of opportunities and represent so much of a global brotherhood that's one of the most ancient in the world. Shout out to 1599. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. I know y'all don't like to sit here and hear me talk, not because you don't like me, but because you have a short attention span. So I guess I got to get into it because I can't sit here and just talk. Plus I got a message of Hermes is ringing in my head because I open up my mind as like a receiver, right? Like the receiver that you have on your antenna receives signals. So, I got all these fucking gods, goddesses, all these fucking entities from all of these fucking galaxies and dimensions all in my head saying, say this, say that, da, 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 da. So, I hear Hermes like, come on, bro, get into it. So I'm getting into it. So shout out to Hermes Trismegistus. This is the Corpus Hermeticum series. Whoop! Sorry. Oh my goodness. And this is called, oh shit, I think I fucked up. I have to go back and redo it. But we're doing chapter 8 and 9. Okay? Chapter 8 is that the greatest evil is not knowing God. I know. Chapter 8 is for Asclepius, which is the son of Apollo. Apollo is the sun that's shining on me right now, right? I forgot what that one is called. Shit. I forgot what it's called. But, this is pretty fire, which means that it's pretty awesome. Please read my write-up. It's the same disclaimer. You can read that. let's go ahead and get into it, why don't we? It should be pretty short and sweet because these are very short chapters. Chapter 8 is really short, as you're about to hear. All right, let's get it.
Chapter 8. The greatest evil in man is not knowing God.
What?
Where are you carried, O men,
Where?
drunken with the wine of ignorance?
Where?
When you cannot hold it down, why do you vomit it up again? Stand and be sober.
Chill.
And look up again with your eyes of your heart. And if you cannot all do so, yet do as many as you can.
So everybody might not be able to look to the light from the eyes of the heart. You know, Jesus and Buddha and every other religion, Hindi and Islam, they always talk about this heart and this mind. The heart has eyes. All right. So remember to see with your heart. A lot of people are drunk. When I say drunk, I'm not talking about drunk as alcoholics. Okay. Anytime that you're ignoring the truth, you're ignorant. You're drunk. Right? Because this is what I have against government conspiracies. You're caught up in things that don't involve truth. So you're drunk. Just like when you're drunk, you're caught up in things that don't involve being a good person in society. Right? Kids are like, what's wrong with him, daddy? Oh, he's drunk, right? So a lot of people are drunken with money, and they're drunken with fame, and they're drunken with fake glory and fake attention and all of this. So that's what he's talking about when he said you're getting drunk. And it's crazy because people drink this fear, right? They drink the stimulation. You understand what I'm saying? Sorry, it bothers me a lot when I see so-called spirituals and awakened ones on these social media networks, and even as my clients, and it just sorry, it baffles me that you drink all of this ignorance and fear, and then all you do is vomit it back up and spread it out. Let's drink truth. Here we go.
For the malice of ignorance surrounds all the earth and corrupts the soul.
It corrupts the
Shut
soul.
up in the body,
Yes.
not suffering it to arrive at the heavens of salvation.
Yes.
Suffer not yourselves to be carried with the great stream, but stem the tide you can. Lay hold of the haven of safety.
Yes.
And make your full course towards it.
Yes.
Seek still what may lead you by the hand and conduct you to the door of truth and knowledge.
Yes. Seek what's going to lead you by the hand and take you to the door of truth and knowledge. Be careful. A lot of people get swept away with the water and they blame the current. Well, the current was too strong. Plus, look at all the people that's getting, right? That's getting taken by this. So I get triggered by people want to say I'm awakened and I'm spiritual and I'm not part of the stimulation. I'm not part of the matrix, right? And then when news of drones come out, right? News of this and news of that, they hop right in there, right in the stimulation that they said they're against. Okay? So stem that tide. I know it's trying to carry you one way. Fight. So you don't drown, because you can. Okay, now let's talk about the body. We're going to talk about this more in the second part of the secret gospel of John. John is going to talk about the false spirit. Okay, that's who you call the devil. They call it the counterfeit spirit. Look it up in Gnostic Gospels. Been talking about it for thousands of years. It's a counterfeit spirit. Okay, and it involves this tomb that you are looking at right now that I am trapped in. And that's called my body. And my body has these setups for me because my body is ruled by the senses. Me, as an immortal, I have my mind over my senses, over matter. We will talk about this in the secret gospel of John. We will talk about matter and the body and how they made this body as a tomb for light for them, because your immortal part is light. All right. So while you need to take care of your body, while you need to keep it clean, while you need to keep it under control, or it's going to be animalistic, like I just posted about not too long ago, you also got to understand that it got setups for you. Right? And you think it's the government, you think it's the police, you think it's the monetary system, you think it's Fauci, you think it's Bill Gates. It's your body. It's your senses. That's what you fight against. Right? It's your desire. That's what you're fighting against. Right? It's your attachment. That's why you're suffering. Okay? So what they did was, remember, we went over in the secret gospel of John, you're this glorious being that can never be touched and you're awesome. And then they put you in this cage and made 365 parts of you and put you in this. And that's why he says it tries to stop you from seeing the soul and able to reach salvation. It's not something that's against you. It's something that's a part of you that your higher self needs to embrace. Shout out to Shadow Work. Let's go.
Clear light is that from which is pure from darkness.
Shout out to the light.
Where there is not one drunken.
Yes.
But all are sober.
All of us are sober.
And in their heart look up to him whose pleasure it is to be seen.
He loves to be seen.
For he cannot be heard with ears, nor seen with eyes.
Here we go.
Nor expressed in words, but only in mind and heart.
In mind of heart.
But first you must tear to pieces and break through the garment that you wear.
Break this
The web of ignorance.
This is a web.
The foundation of all mischief.
Yes.
The shackles of corruption.
This is your shackles.
The cloak of darkness.
This is your cloak of darkness.
The living death.
This is your living death.
The corruptible corpse.
Say it.
The sepulchre.
Say it.
Carried about with us.
Yes.
The domestic thief.
It's a thief.
Which in what he loves us, envies us, hates us.
So, we talked about this thief. Did we not talk about this thief? We did. It was in the Shepherd of Hermes. Hello, my name is Hermes. Right? It was it wasn't the Shepherd of Hermes. It was the Essene Gospels. Right? The real meaning of the prodigal son. Okay? Let's continue to listen.
Such is the hurtful apparel with which you are now clothed.
Yes.
Which draws and pulls you downward by its own self.
It does.
Lest looking upward and seeing the beauty of truth and the good that is reposed therein.
Yes.
You would hate the wickedness of this garment and understand the traps and ambushes which it has laid for you.
It has traps. It has ambushes that's laid for you. See, so when you go out here and you blame people and you blame things, shout out to Noah, he was the most blameless. That's why he was chosen, not the most righteous. He was the most blameless. So don't go out here blaming anybody or anything for the shit that you in. You need to blame yourself. So that's why when people are in jail or when people fuck themselves over, right, and they try to blame, you're always going to hear a wise, intelligent person say, well, you did it to yourself. That's because you didn't control yourself. You didn't know yourself. And that's what we talk about from a vegan and vegetarian perspective. You need to fight with that belly of the beast that wants you to eat meat. You need to fight with that belly of the beast that wants you to eat 3 times a day. You need to fight because, I don't know, I believe in the East. If you look at the stomach, it's a little wormy looking, right? If you look at the brain, it's wormy looking too. So the East believe that the stomach is the first brain. Okay? Not this. Right? Because when you eat, it doesn't go up here, it goes in here. Right? And based on that, along with hydration, along with being active, along with breath work, right? Then that depends on how much oxygen gets to your brain for you to think correctly and everything else. Understand how you function. You are a alchemical network. You are a chemist. We'll give him an example real quick. I heard you, Hermes. I got him. So if you have a bottle of water and you get some powder or protein milk or whatever the fuck, and you put the powder in the water, you're not putting powder in water. Look at the ingredients in the powder. You're putting chemicals, right, in H2O, hydrogen and oxygen too, in order to have a chemical reaction of what you get when you drink the water, which is first your taste, which is the taste buds, and then you have another reactor, your whole body. So what you just mixed up as a chemist. Now you're going to put into your body, and if you don't know the inside of your body and how it's going to react, you're going to have stomach aches. You're going to have issues and problems as a reaction or of effect of your cause. Not the government's fault because the government put a shining hook. Hey, this is good for you. You ought to eat and drink it, and you didn't do the research before you just put it in your reactor. Let's be better. Let's think from a higher point of view about this. We'll get off your soapbox. Sorry, Hermes. I'm done.
Therefore it labors to make good those things that seem and are by the senses judged and determined.
Yep.
And the things that are true it hides, and veils in much matter, filling what it presents unto you with hateful pleasure,
yep,
that you may neither hear what you should hear, nor see what you should see.
That's the war you in.
Chapter 9, a universe.
So that's the war you in. And that's why not knowing God is the most evil thing. I talk to a lot of clients, thousands that have said, I just don't believe in anything. And I have to take it back. Will, let me explain. I hear you, Hermes. I'm going to let you explain it to Asclepius. Because things aren't just moved by themselves. Will, let me explain. Okay. I'm going to still help with his explanation, though. And yes, I do hear voices. Let me talk about this right quick. We'll get into it. I've been hearing voices since I was a child. So I posted about getting back with my parents and getting through my trauma. I mean, I haven't saw them for by about 5 years or some shit. You know, and I had to remind my mom, stop letting this family or anybody think that I'm crazy. That's the first person I went to when I started hearing voices, when I started seeing shadows in a room at 5 and 6 years old. Scared to tell my dad because he's going to be like, oh, boy, that's just crazy. This boy needs to be locked up in a mental hospital. Nothing against black people, nothing. I'm just saying, if you do anything outside of what they accept, they're going to lock you in a mental hospital. You could be a white kid and say that shit and, you know, you could probably get away with it for the most part. Just saying, bro. You know, so I went to my mom because my mom is the most softest, nicest person I've ever seen. And I said, Mom, I have to start sleeping with the lights on because it's too many shadows in my room. And she knew I was serious because I was crying so hard. And she prayed with me. And after that, I just slept with the lights on. So now you see why I'm a son of light, why I'm all about light and all of this shit. It didn't just come because of knowledge and wisdom, just because it came from always being different, always seeking light. I don't think I slept with the lights off till I was about 16, 17 years old. That's how that I couldn't spend a night over a lot of friends' house or nothing. I was always a special alien. And it's okay to be special. It is. It is. Use it. Right? I told you I hear voices. So you see how I'm using it now? I'm using the voices that I'm hearing. Right? From the entities that I've grown to know versus going to see a shrink and telling them that I fucking hear voices and having them pump me up with all this fluid. You know, my girl hear voices. I hear voices. It's cool. Let's get into Asclepius.
Sermon to Asclepius.
It's a sermon to Asclepius, but I didn't hear the title because I was talking too much. But let's go.
Is moved, O Asclepius. Is it not moved in something and by something?
Let's go.
Asclepius replied, yes, indeed.
Okay.
Must not that in which a thing is moved of necessity be greater than the thing that is moved?
This is correct.
Of necessity.
Of necessity.
And that which has motion, is it not stronger than that which is moved?
Yes.
It is stronger.
Okay.
That in which a thing is moved, must it not have a nature contrary to that of the thing that is moved?
That makes sense.
It must.
Okay.
Is not this great world a body for which there is no greater?
This is true.
Yes, confessedly.
This is true.
And is it not solid, as filled with many great bodies, and indeed with all the bodies that are?
It is.
It is so.
Yes, yes.
And is not the world a body, and a body that is caused to be in motion?
Yes, it's in motion.
It is.
It is.
Then what kind of place must it be?
What?
Wherein it is moved, and of what nature? Must it not be much bigger, that it may receive the continuity of motion?
That makes sense.
Unless by being moved, should for want of room be constrained and hindered in the same motion?
But it can move.
It must be an immense thing, Trismegistus. But what if...
So look at what I'm doing. I'm in a car and I can move. I have room. I'm not just like, you see what I'm saying? It's okay. He's taking you through the elementary lessons of understanding movement. We talked about this in the style. You have to understand movement and stillness. I'm trying to remember this quote that I used to always say. It's okay to move fast, but remember, moving fast depends on your situation. You're not going to drive 70 miles per hour through an apartment complex. So when we talk about movement and we're understanding how things exist, fuck what the governments and everything saw you. Let's get down to simplicity of shit. Okay? In order for me to do this, I'm the mover. This is what is moved. Depending on how big this is, it can be bigger than me and I can still move it. Okay? You with me? All right. Anything that is moved by a mover. Nothing happens without nothing. I'm trying not to go through this series again, but it's been a couple years. I'm going to have to go through it just so people understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm talking about the principle of cause and effect. Okay? So nothing is not moved without a cause moving it. Okay? And since the world is moved, what moves the world must be immensely bigger. So the world is not like this. It can move. Okay? Let's continue to listen.
Nature. Of a contrary nature, O Asclepius.
Contrary.
But is not the nature of things intangible contrary to a body?
Yes.
Confessedly.
Confessedly.
Therefore, the place is intangible. But that which is intangible is either some divine thing or God himself.
Listen.
And by something divine, I do not mean that which was made or begotten.
Right.
If therefore it be divine, it is an essence or a substance. But if it be God, it is above essence. Right. But he is otherwise intelligible.
Right.
For the first, God is intelligible, not to himself, but to us.
To us.
For that which is intelligible is subject to that which understands by the senses.
Right.
Therefore, God is not intelligible to himself, for not being any other thing from that which is understood. He can
hold up.
Not be understood.
Don't do that. Forgot to turn my ringer stuff off.
Another thing for us, and therefore he is understood by us.
Okay, he is another thing for us. It is another thing. No, I'm going to say he, and I'm going to explain why they call him he more in this same book. Okay? He's intelligible. Okay? But he's not intelligible to himself because he is intelligible itself. Okay? So what's intelligible can only be understood by something that's not intelligible of it. That's why we can understand him. Okay? That's why we can understand God. Because something that's intelligible has to only be understood by things of the senses. Okay? Everything that's moved here is moved by something. The something you can't always see. I'm sitting here looking at this, these leaves on this tree moving, but I can't see what's moving it. Therefore, what's in moving it is intelligible. It's not telligible. It's not able to be seen. So if it's not able to be seen, it is totally contrary to me. That's why I can't see it. Does that make sense? So, let's continue to listen. Oh, shit. What did I do? Oh, okay.
If therefore place be intelligible,
listen.
It is not place, but God.
But God.
But if God be intelligible,
listen.
He is intelligible not as place, but as a capable operation. Now everything that is moved not in or by that which is moved.
Hold up. So Zeus was known as the god of air, the god of ether, if you will, or the power behind air. Okay? So if I look at this tree and the leaves are blowing, I know what's making that leaf blow is God. But it's not God sitting here just making the leaves blow, right? You heard what he said. It's an intelligible operation. So I know that the reason that the wind is blowing right now, those leaves in that way at this specific time, at this specific space, is because I understand the operation of what I cannot see. And that's a part of the operation of what I cannot see. I hope that makes sense. So it's not as God, it's as the operation of it. Here we go.
But in that which is fixed, and that which moves rests. Okay. For it is impossible should it be moved with it. Okay. He asked then, O Trismegistus, are those things that are here moved with the things that are themselves moved? For you said that the spheres that wander are moved by the sphere that is immovable.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, spheres? Are we talking about planets right now? We are talking about planets right now. So this was written before the planets were even discovered officially. This is why I tell y'all, everything that they telling y'all about planets is not that they've been up there. They know these books that explain the planets. Okay? So, again, I could be wrong. This would not fit into the world of physics or people that study what I'm about to say, planets, according to Earth. But I'm just going to speak according to what he just said and my little understanding that I have as a little mortal human. Okay? This is where I think black holes come from. Walk with me. So, a black hole, it might move, but it's basically stationary. And you can't see it with your naked eye. Right? You have to have special telescopes, special technology to see it. But it's just right here. It doesn't move. So what he's saying is, in order for the planets to move, whether we're talking about they're spinning or they're moving in the motion that they move, is done by a station. It's done by something that is fixed. Okay? The fixed stars, the stars that are not fixed, move by the fixed. Okay? So let it play. I know.
O Asclepius is not moving together, but a counter motion.
The counter.
For they are not moved after a like manner, but contrary one to the other.
Yes.
And contrary forms a standing resistance of motion.
Yes.
For the resistance is a staying of motion.
Listen.
Therefore, the wandering spheres being moved contrary to that sphere which is fixed,
I just said that,
shall have one from another, contrarily standing of itself.
I just said that.
For this bear, you see, neither rises nor goes down, but turns always in its fixed course.
A bear? Have you not studied the bear? The Indians studied it. It's a bear that moves. It's a star constellation. Okay? You got two bears at two poles. They always move. Now, mind you, if you Google and study, you'll see that we recently found that these bears move. This is thousands upon thousands of years of, mind you, we're in Egypt right now. They already knew about this wandering bear. And Hermes Trismegistus is about to ask him, how do you think that wandering bear moves? Now, remember what I just explained to you. It's a counter motion. That means what is fixed moves the planets that are not fixed and that move and wander. Okay? You won't probably understand the answer, but I just want you to think about it. When he says it's a counter motion. Okay? All right? So, let's continue to listen.
Do you think it moves or stands still? I think it moves, Trismegistus. What motion, O Asclepius? A motion that is always carried about the same. But the circulation which is about the same and the motion about the same are both hidden by station. For that which is about the same forbids that which is above the same, if it resists that which is about the same. And so the contrary motion stands fast always, being always established by the contrary. But I will tell you the truth concerning this matter.
Speak.
An earthly example that may be seen with the eyes.
They not understand.
Look upon any of these living creatures upon earth.
Okay.
As man, for example, and see him.
Hold up, let me talk through it right quick. Because it's not just a counter motion. It involves station. Let's see. Look around you. Look around you. You can have movement and stillness. They're not getting it. I know. I'm trying. Oh, I know. So you have a place that moves, but the place that is in control of the operation that makes that move doesn't move. Now, you understand what I'm saying by station? It's okay. I will explain it in a human example like he's about to. It's okay. You're just not listening. I'm not going to teach you anything new. I'm going to teach you what you already know. I teach just like Socrates. I'm not teaching you anything new. I teach by recollection, which means I make you recollect what you already know because we've been dumbed down so much. So you already have all this knowledge. You know everything that I'm talking about. You forgot. Okay? So here on Earth, we have what you know of as what? Train stations. Now, you see what I'm talking about when I say station? You see what I'm talking about? I mean, you see what he's talking about when he says station? He's not just pulling shit out his ass or big words. We still use this today. We have train stations. Okay? A train moves through a train station, but a train station does not move. Now, you understand what I speak about station? However, a train station is responsible for making sure that that train still moves. And it's plenty of train stations that the train moves through. So I hope you understand how long we've been building trains. And now you see where we even got the idea from of a train station. Okay? Now you understand station. You'll understand it more when Hermes Trismegistus gives a better example. Swimming.
For as the water is carried one way,
yes,
the movement of his feet and hands is made a station to the man,
a station,
resisting the water.
Yes.
That he should not be carried with the water, nor sink underneath it.
Right.
This is a very clear example you speak of, Trismegistus.
Yep.
Therefore,
that's station. Because the body is not moving underwater or none of that shit. The body is keeping station as the human moves. That's a great example. Here we go.
Every motion is in station.
Yes.
And is moved of station.
That makes sense.
The motion then of this world and of every material living thing is not to be done by those things that are without the world.
Okay.
But by those things within it.
Within it.
A soul or spirit.
Okay.
Or some other ethereal thing.
Ethereal thing.
To those things that are without it.
Okay.
For an inanimate body does not know, much less a body if it is wholly inanimate.
Uh-huh.
Asclepius asked, what do you mean, O Trismegistus? Wood and stones and all other inanimate things, are they not moving bodies?
No.
By no means, Asclepius, for that within the body, which moves the inanimate thing, is not the body, that moves both as well of the body, that which bears it, as the body of that which is born. For one dead or inanimate thing cannot move another.
Right.
That which moves must be alive to move.
Alive to move.
You see there.
You see what I'm saying? So movement is alive. That's why I don't eat dead shit. I eat shit that's alive. You know what I'm saying? Living food. So, let's listen.
Or how the soul is surcharged when it carries two bodies.
Right.
And now it is manifest that the things that are moved in something and by something.
Uh-huh.
The things that are...
So, now the things that are of earth is moved from what's within them. I said that Zeus is like a god of ether. You see what I'm saying? So it's ether within the world. And that's what's causing the wind to blow, right? And the leaves to blow. Okay? What he's describing now is, he said, okay, so if you have a trash can, does something move a trash can? Like, no, because a trash can is not living. No dead or thing that's not alive can move something, can be moved by something that's not alive. Let me try to make it a clear example here. A piece of wood cannot be moved by another piece of wood without a station or a person to make that happen. Because a piece of wood is not alive. It's not alive, breathing, thinking, or nothing. So it's not alive. It's a dead thing. So in order for it to be moved, the human has to move it, an animal has to move it, the wind, which is alive, has to move. Something alive has to move something that's dead. Right? So what he's saying is, what's moving you is within you, which is your soul, which is the spirit that's already within you, not without you. Listen.
Removed, O Trismegistus, must needs be moved in that which is void. Be advised, O Asclepius, for all things that exist, there's nothing empty. Only that which is utterly intangible, right, which is empty and a stranger to existence or being.
Right.
But that which is could not be if it were not full of existence.
Full of existence.
For that which is in being or existence can never be made empty. Asclepius asked, are there not therefore some things that are empty, as an empty barrel, an empty pitcher, an empty paper, an empty wine press, and many such like?
That's gross.
Oh, the grossness of your error, O Asclepius.
Gross error.
Those things that are most full and replenished, do you say they are void and empty? What do you mean, Trismegistus?
Listen.
Is not the air a body? It is a body.
It is a body.
Why then this body does it not pass through all things that are, and passing through them fill them?
It does.
And that body, does it not consist of the mixture of four?
Listen.
Therefore, all those things which you called empty are full of air. Therefore, those things you called empty, rather they are hollow, not empty, for they exist.
Sorry. Shout out to Hallow Earth theory. I believe in Hallow Earth. Right? Because this is like, we've already explained this, and it's from a Hebrew perspective, old Hebrew perspective too. So it even aligns with the church and everything else, that we live in a dome. Okay? And we're on a firmament, and this, what we call the sky, is what they call the firmament. Okay? So we will be what you would call a encasing, that we live in a bottle. Right? Or that we live in a circle, something. You know? And people say, well, it's nothing here. It is something here. This is not full of anything. It is full of something. It is. Even though you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not full. It just means it's hollow. Here we go.
And are full of air, and thus spirit.
Yep, air and spirit.
This reason is beyond all contradiction, O Trismegistus.
That's beyond all contradiction. If you have a bottle, your bottle is filled with air. Even if it's not, well, it's going to be filled with air. You suck all the air out of it, there's something else in there. You can't suck all the air out of it. I mean, you can have an air-sealed something. You just can't see the little bitty amounts of particles of air that's still in there. Here we go.
But what shall we call the place in which the whole universe is moved?
Call it incorporeal.
Call it incorporeal, O Asclepius.
So we're going over Corpus Hermeticum. So when you talk about something that's incorporeal, right? Or you see a building that says, yeah, this is called, I don't know, Kroger's Incorporated. right? In means not. So that means it's not corporated. It's not a corporation. That's what an incorporation is, right? So he said, you have things that are incorporate and you have things that are corporeal or incorporeal. Okay. Corporeal means it's physical. It deals with the senses. It deals with matter. It deals with physical. Incorporeal, which is not corporeal, which is not mortal, which is not physical. And corp is a corpse. It doesn't have to mean a body or a dead body, right? Air is a body. See what I'm saying? So something that is incorporeal is without air, wind, fire, and water, without those four that he was just talking about. It's past that. Here we go.
What is its form? Incorporeal or intangible?
Whole.
The mind and reason.
Yeah, everything.
The whole.
Yes.
Wholly comprehending itself.
No form.
Free from all body.
Yes.
Indivisible.
Yes.
Invisible. Impassable from a body itself.
Right.
Standing fast in itself.
God has no form.
Capable of all things, and that savior of the things that are.
Mm-hmm.
Where of the good, the truth, the archetypal light.
Yes.
The archetype of the soul.
The light.
As it were, rays of light.
Rays.
Why then? What is God?
What is God?
That which is none of these things, yet is.
Is.
And is the cause of being to all.
Here we go.
And every one of those things that are.
Yes.
For he left nothing destitute of being.
Nothing.
And all things are made of things that are. And not of things that are not.
Tell him who God is.
For the things that are not have not the nature to be able to be made. And again, the things that are have not the nature never to be.
Listen.
Nor to be at all.
Yes.
What would you say then? Say at length that God is. God is not a mind, but the cause of the mind.
The cause.
Not a spirit, but the cause of the spirit.
The cause.
Not light, but the cause of light.
The cause of this light.
Therefore, we must worship God by these two appellations.
Two. We're going to talk about the two appellations, which are the good and the Father. We talked about this. Shout out to the Kabbalion. Right? It talked about the principle of cause and effect. Shout out to the Kabbalion by 3 initiates, written in 1912 by us Masons at Chicago, Illinois, which is the reason why you even use the word vibrations or vibes. That's because of the chapter called Vibrations that's in the Kabbalion. That's not any New Age, nothing. You're welcome. So when you understand the principle of cause and effect, you understand that everything that is an effect has a cause. Everything that is moved has a mover. You understand now? So you can't really look at God as light, cause of light. Not even as death, the cause of death. Not even as birth, the cause of birth. Look at God as a cause. When you start looking at God as a cause, you can calm your anger down. Because the cause, the reason behind Bill Gates existing or doing whatever he does is the ultimate cause, God. Whatever the governments are doing is caused by who? God. Whoever got murdered yesterday was caused by who? God. Whoever got saved from murder, whoever got saved by a lifeguard, shouldn't say, oh, thank you, lifeguard. You saved my life. They should thank who? The cause. So I get so turned about this. I say this all the time to people. Because they got all these complaints. And I keep on telling them, you're blaming God because God is the cause of everything you're complaining about. And once you understand that, you ain't got shit to complain about. You're free from these shackles of thinking that the cause of these so-called bad things that you're caught up in your duality and fear is something trying to harm you and harm everybody. No. The cause that is behind every single thing that happens is good. Plato said it. Hermes Trismegistus is about to say it, and we about to wrap it up. Let's go.
To him alone and to no other.
Yes.
And this he is and nothing else.
Yes.
But all other things are separable from the nature of good.
Separable. Good.
For the body and the soul have no place that is capable of or can contain the good.
Your soul and body does not have a place to even contain the good. It's how evil we are. It's how evil everything is. Not that it's bad or opposite from God or good. It is good because good is the cause of it. Understand how it operates here, though. Outside of cause. The government might be a cause for a company coming into fruition, but the reason why the company does fucked up shit is not because of the government, it's because of the CEOs and the employees running that bitch. Digress, Will. Sorry. I digress, Hermes. Here we go.
For the greatness of good is as great as the existence of all things that are.
It is.
Both bodily and intangible.
This is true.
Both sensible and intelligible.
This is true. I just said that.
That is the good.
That's the
even
good.
God.
Even God.
See, therefore, that you do not any time call anything else good.
No.
For that is improper.
That's improper.
Or any else God.
No.
But only the good.
The good.
For that is also improper.
Wait, but I call Hermes a god. I call him my god. Shit, I even call him my nigga. That's my nigga. I call Jesus my god. My god, that's my nigga. I call Buddha my god. That's my god. That's my nigga. I heard Hermes Trismegistus is my god. That's my god. That's my nigga. But the only one that should be able to be called God or the good is the God and the good. All these other ones are titles and that the good lets them borrow. Remember when they say anything that's named, anything that's made is given on loan? We just went over that in the secret book of John. So Hermes has a loaned understanding that he's a god. But in all truth, he's not a god. In all truth, he's not good. In all truth, ain't shit good. And in all truth, ain't shit God. But God and the good. And this is based on Plato also. So that's why I say that Jesus learned this shit. Plato and them learned this same thing. Every religion of the world talks just like this when you get down to it. So you can't be good.
In word, it is often said by all men the good, but all men do not understand what it is.
I just said that.
But through ignorance, they call both the gods and some men good.
I just said that.
That can never be
I just said
or
that.
be made so.
No.
Therefore, all the other gods are honored with the title or appellation of God.
I said that.
But God is the good.
The good.
Not according to heaven,
no.
but nature.
Nature.
For there is one nature of God, even the good, and one kind of them both, from whence all are kinds. For he is the good, is the giver of all things, and takes nothing.
No.
And therefore, God gives all things,
Gives.
and receives nothing.
Gives.
The other title and appellation is the Father,
Father.
because of his generative force.
Him.
For it is the part of a father to make.
So, we talked about this, right? The lowest part of the G, right, is for geometry, God. Above that is gnosis. Above that is generative. Above that is Geradamus. Geradamus. But we're going to get back to generating. That's why he is called a father, because a father don't do nothing but make. See, a lot of people have this shit fucked up of thinking, nothing against women, but a lot of women be like, oh, these men just make babies and leave. That's what our nature is to do, is to make. It's your nature to nurture. I'm not talking about anything else other than base nature of a human. Anytime a human man takes time out to do nurturing to a child, he's into his feminine. Because according to his nature, all he needs to do is make shit. According to her nature, she needs to nurture shit. So you have women acting outside their nature and they trying to make shit. You got men acting outside their nature and all they want to do is nurture shit. No, men make it. We make it happen. Women are like, well, they're in the administrative department. They're not making it happen. They're nurturing what's happened in processes. And they'll come and tell you, hey, you made it happen, but watch out for this and that. That's in nurturing what's happening, taking care of what's happening. All right? Just being honest. All right, here we go.
Therefore, it has been the greatest and most religious care in this life.
Here we go.
To those that are wise and intelligent to beget children.
What?
As likewise, it is the greatest misfortune and impiety for any to be separated from men without children.
Hold up. It is the greatest misfortune and impiety for a man to not do what's according to his intelligent nature and not have kids. I will say it again, because a lot of men are like, oh yeah, I ain't had no kids. I'm saying it based on this. If you have an issue with it, go talk to Hermes Trismegistus. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the initiate. Okay? According to Hermes Trismegistus, it is an evil thing for any man, specifically, any person that is in a bodily form of a male, to leave Earth without kids. Because you're acting outside of your nature. Your nature is to make babies. Your nature ain't even to make and build shit. Your nature is to reproduce. We talked about this in the symposium, including Socrates, when the woman was teaching him what love was. And was teaching him that even a lion can love. It got big teeth. It hunt and kill all the time. But when it has babies, you see what I'm saying? It's all about protecting those babies. Because its nature is to make. When mating season comes, the girl is not like, oh no, I'm not mating this season. The boy is not like, oh no, I ain't doing this shit. They know according to their nature, they need to mate, period. So animals do according to their nature. They don't give a fuck what humans talking about. If they need to mate and that fire burning down there and that cat is in heat, it'll spray sperm all over your motherfucking apartment or house until it get a mate. It ain't worried about shit you talking about until you do the surgery and take the part of it that's making it get in heat like that. But other than that, it's going to do according to its nature that it was born with before you altered it. Same with a dog. Goddamn, a dog will hump the shit out your pillow, have sperm all over that damn pillow. You can be asleep. You wake up, dog humping your face. Dog don't give a fuck what you talking about, that you gotta wake up in the morning, his red penis all over your face and shit. That motherfucker is doing what's according to its nature. So that's why some men don't give a fuck with a woman talking. They need to hump something. And they might be tired of humping with their hand, tired of humping that damn bed and couch. They need to hump a human. The girl is full of anxiety, and women have way more anxiety than men. Always have. Anxiety means fear of the future. Okay? So a woman not trying to make, a woman wants to feel. But she's scared of the future, of the feeling she's about to get. So that's why you got to jump through 1,000 hoops before she makes sure you're the right one. Because in the future, she don't want to be like, damn, I shouldn't have fucked him. In the future, she don't want to be like, damn, I shouldn't have been with him. She's always worried about the future. Men ain't worried about the future. Because that doesn't logically make sense to us of how we feel in the future. We're not feeling beings, we're logical. Just explaining the nature of men and women. You know, shout out to Trump for helping bring us back, and not just him, I'm just saying, shout out to that process in America of us coming back to our nature of a man and a woman. Because when you start getting out of your nature of a man or woman that you were made for, you're going to turn into a cursed thing under the sun. And this has already happened before. Shit, this might have already happened with Hermes Trismegistus. Right? Because his form, his head, ain't a human head. It's an ibis head. But, that's just symbolism. Here we go. We almost done.
And this man is punished by death by the demons.
Oh, shit.
And the punishment is this.
Oh, shit.
To have the soul of this childless man judged and condemned to a body that neither has the nature of a man nor of a woman, which is...
So they say that if you do not have a child and you're in the form of a man, you have responsibilities for your form. Let me say that right quick, because you're not understanding what I'm saying. You have a responsibility to your form and to your nature of your form in a generative manner, which means male or female. You have a responsibility to eat, to feed that belly of your body. You have a responsibility to water it. You have a responsibility to stretch it, walk it, all of this shit. And you have to do it or you will die. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to obey your nature. And if you don't, you're fucked. So that's all he's saying. If you don't obey your nature and make, which is part of the reason your body is here, to sensibly make, it's going to fuck you up. I'm just saying what he said. He said it's going to fuck you up so much that the demons will not put you into another body so you can become more better in wisdom and knowledge. We're going to go over that next chapter on what happens in the afterlife according to Hermes Trismegistus. But they take you and throw you into an animal body, which is neither a human male or a human female, but a cursed thing up under the sun. So be careful of that. I'm not saying obey what Hermes Trismegistus said. I'm saying be careful and be aware of it. You don't have to believe everything everybody says in every different religion and every different belief. Be aware of it. We're wrapping it up.
A cursed thing under the sun.
Yes.
Therefore, O Asclepius, never congratulate any man that is childless, but on the contrary, pity his misfortune, knowing what punishment abides and is prepared for him.
Oh, shit.
Let so many and such manner of things, O Asclepius, be said as a certain precognition of all things in nature.
I just said that.
Chapter 10, The Mind to Hermes.
Hold up. The mind to Hermes is next. Not right now. So I hope you guys loved that. I hope you understood it. I loved it. I understood it. I hope it helped you. It helped me. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope everybody has a great week coming. I hope everybody is staying warm here in Texas. The temperatures have been plummeting and that shit's been hard on me. My nipple's hard as fuck right now. Like, this shit is hard, bro. In Texas, it's hard, but I know it's hard all around the United States. I hear that the wildfires have subsided over on that side of the states, and we still got people talking about this revelation and shit. We have people talking about this revelation with COVID. And COVID was on a global scale. That I said it back then. Hey, if it was a really say, bro. Whenever it's a pandemic, for real, you will see bodies in the street. You will walk past dead people, bro. It'd be so many dead they won't even be able to gather them up nowhere. You ain't lived in them countries where that happened. But when it's a pandemic on a global scale, believe me, it's not going to be no reason for you to think that it's not, because you're not going to be able to function at all. If the end of the world and revelation is coming by fire, believe me, it's not going to be based on the United States and one state. It's going to be global, and half the motherfucking world will be on fire. Then you know it's Armageddon. Other than that, These are one-offs. Other than that, these are just things that's happening, you know? So don't be scared, you know, but my heart goes out to the people in California. I can't say I know what they're going through because I ain't been through it. And that has to be hard. And people say, oh, yeah. It's a good thing that those rich people got their house burned down. Watch your thinking. Learn how to not only treat people like you want to be treated, but think how you would want people to think about you. No matter how much money you got or anything, those are real people that have real feelings, that have real lives, that have real souls. And if we're spiritual, we're supposed to care about that when nobody else does. Same thing I posted about with police. Being that we're spiritual and we're awakened and we're moving mankind, if you claim to be spiritual, you're one of the highest beings on the planet. That's why I be saying, stop saying that you're spiritual, bro. That's on a level you really probably not even ready for. You ain't even went through purification of the body yet, which is the first step of alchemy. But if we're supposed to be the most merciful, the most softest, the most kind race, and we went through what race we are last time I went live in the Secret Book of John, then we ought to show mercy to the police and not blanket them like all of them is bad. And, you know, it's still fun, right? That's my immortal side talking. My mortal side is like, fuck the police, nigga, fuck them hoes. But I'm bigger than my mortal side, right? So I'm aware of it and I let that swing below me. But in all sense, it's not fuck the police, bro. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did. What are we doing next week? We will go live over Siddhartha. It's going to be very, very interesting. And we'll talk about how he is working in the matrix, because it's hard, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'm spiritual, I'm awakened, but they go to that 9 to 5, and if they boss coming out and tell them, hey, I'm gonna ask you a question. If you say that you are spiritual, you're fired. And they ask you, are you spiritual? You be quick to say hell no to keep your paycheck. So anyway, we'll go through Siddhartha next week, and then the week after we'll be back in the second part of the Secret Gospel of John, and we will go through the contemptible spirit, which is the false spirit that you have, and how you were thrown into the outer darkness, which is where we are on earth, and the archons that are against you, and as well as the prime parent, where the flood came from, all of that. And you know, we'll prepare you for what she about to do. I'm wrapping it up. Everybody say the world's gonna be destroyed by fire. I'm gonna tell you with the Gnostics, we're gonna go live over it too. It says right now she's wearing her fire of wisdom, but in the end, which is what they call the consummation, she's gonna remove that wise fire and put on her fire of wrath. And she's going to burn everything up. And remember, burning is a restoration. It's a type of reset. And when she ain't got nothing else to burn up, I'm talking about in the whole universe of planets, all that shit, she's going to burn up herself, which is save herself. The fire, remember, the fire is healing. You see what it does after the forests are caught on fire. Go back and see how good that soil is and how plentiful the plants and trees grow. It's a restoring. So, I'm through talking. I'll talk to y'all later. I love y'all so much. Again, shout out to my gal. We going on 70 months up in this bitch. We'll be at 72 months on March 26th, which is our anniversary. And then I get to get my 7th Masonic ring in August. And I have 4 rings. And I lost 2. No, I lost 3. I had to give away my first 2 to work on attachment, which means I had to throw them off somewhere where I never find them. And then the third one, I lost. So I get to get all 3 rings back, the one that I lost and the ones that I went through attachment growing in. So I have 7 rings on me this August, you know. Very happy about that shit. It wasn't even my goal. My goal is not to get rings or to raise higher in no secret society or none of that shit. But these are gifts. So I accept these gifts, and I can't believe it, but I'm thankful. I'm not even trying. I'm not even paying attention to that shit. This is what I like to do. I don't do this to earn a reward. You see what I'm saying? I'm thankful, but I don't do this to earn a reward. You know, like it's kind of like if Facebook says, "Hey man, you've been live for years and you did this many live videos. Like, wow, man, we want to give you $25,000. Yeah, but I wasn't doing it for $25,000. You see what I'm saying? I don't come in to do it for that. That's just one of the side effects of, you know, putting this in place. So thank you guys for listening to me, especially the people that have listened to me for, you know, so many years. You saw my growth from eating meat. I used to go live eating chicken and going to buy chicken and shit, you know, to being a vegan, vegetarian. You know, you've seen my relationships on Facebook with girls and stuff, you know, to being in a long relationship. You've seen my growth in, you know, how I used to hide from myself. I used to have sunglasses, hoodie on, and all of that shit. And now, you know, I'm fully naked and, you know, confident in myself. And I used to be on DMT the first 2 or 3 years I was on live stream. And now I've been completely sober. This is 6th year. You get to see me live, completely sober, not even off weed or nothing, you know. So I hope you appreciate that. I appreciate it, and I'm, you know, I'm very happy about it. You've seen my child grow up and all of that. So I'm happy to share that part of my life with you guys and a part of my life with you guys. And not that anyone cares. I got your own lives to worry about, but just wanted to say thank you. Thank you. I've learned more from Facebook than I learned from college, being in corporate, being self-employed or anything. So Facebook has done a lot. A lot of y'all have learned a lot from Facebook, way more than you learn from anything else, or social networks or YouTube and things like that. So it is good in that stuff, you know. So thank you so much. I'm done talking my head off. I'll see y'all next week. And I don't like MLK Day. So fuck that shit. But anyway, I love y'all so much. I'll talk to y'all later, okay?